What is up, YouTube? N64 Fun Time coming back at you today. I got a pretty interesting video for you today, and the reason and the inspiration for this episode kind of was a series of events that happened within a few days' time that got me kind of excited for this video. The first kind of event was one of my favorite YouTubers right now is Ircha Gaming. If you have not gone to her YouTube page, please do right this very moment. Go like and subscribe her stuff. She is so awesome. She's one of the most genuine YouTubers out there right now with her reviews. She's really good at just interacting with everybody on Instagram and Twitter and stuff. She's just absolutely one of my favorite YouTubers right now. Stop this video, go like and subscribe to her right now because she is that awesome. So continuing on, Ircha Gaming did a recent review for a game that fairly new for the Nintendo Switch called Titan Quest. And if you guys don't know, Titan Quest actually was a PC game, kind of in the same realm as the Diablo 2 style gameplay that came out in like 2004. So it's an extremely old game for the PC. I remember playing it in college when we were playing Diablo 2 a lot in college. We also started playing Titan Quest. And this one totally flew under the radar for me. I did not know this was getting a Switch release, and when she kind of did the review, it definitely surprised me, and the game looks absolutely beautiful. I'm super excited for that. So it got me thinking about what other Diablo 2 style games there are out there, and I originally thought of the Torchlight series, which is one of my favorite series, and I think it's a little bit underappreciated. So kind of in this whole realm of Ircha Gaming talking about Titan Quest and me thinking about Torchlight, a few days ago there actually was an announcement for a new Torchlight game called Torchlight Frontier. Now, if you guys know anything about Torchlight, it was made by Runic Games, which after Torchlight 2 quietly shut down. It was made up of people from Blizzard who did Diablo 2, so they definitely kind of continued the spirit of that game with creating the Torchlight series. Now, this new game, Torchlight Frontline, has not been talked about hardly at all on the internet. It is being made by Ircha Gaming since Runic Game got shut down, and it is still some creators from Runic Games and Diablo 2. So they're continuing on the legacy, which is so awesome because I feel like the Torchlight series is so underappreciated. So before we continue on with Torchlight Frontlines and why I'm excited for that game coming out, I'm just going to go back and explain to you guys kind of my interactions with the Torchlight series and why they're so good and why I'm excited for this Torchlight Frontline. So Torchlight 1 came out in October of 2009, so 9 years after Diablo 2. But what's great about the Torchlight series is the first one, when it came out, it was very colorful. It was set in kind of like a steampunk universe versus kind of this demonic universe. And the first game was actually quite simple. You had just one singular hub town, and you would go into a mine that was corrupted more or less, and you'd work your way down this mine. It actually had an unlimited amount of levels. The main storyline went to about level 150 or so. Once you got past that, you beat the main storyline, but you could continue down the mine till it had no end. What was cool is the floors of the mines were randomly generated, so you weren't fighting in the same style of layout every time. Each floor was randomly generated every single time, so you got kind of this fresh gameplay. Every 10 levels or so there was a boss. You could you know, farm gear and get better gear. There were gems and sockets, and everything that was great about Diablo 2 was in this Torchlight game, but it was still pretty simple. A handful of years later, Torchlight 2 came out in 2012, only a handful of months after the release of Diablo 3. Now, if you guys can remember back to the release of Diablo 3, it had some serious issues with bugs, it had server issues, it had matchmaking issues. And a lot of people were actually avoiding Diablo 3 for the first handful of months. Like, it was a really big deal. I don't know if you guys can remember back that far, but it really was for the people who were die-hard Diablo 3 after 12 years without a Diablo series, and this game comes out and it's more or less broken for the first handful of months. So Torchlight 2 capitalized on that. It came out a few months after, and it was a perfect game right out of the bat. And I know a lot of people were ditching Diablo 3 to come play Torchlight 2 because it was that good. It totally took everything great about Torchlight 1, cranked it up to 11. The worlds were bigger, you could spread out longer, the characters were great, the story was great, it was vast, it was awesome. It was able to be played offline, it was able to be played online, which was a big thing with Diablo 3. And it just took everything, it just made it so good. And Torchlight 2, I think, got a little bit of a cult following, but it didn't get popular enough, which is really sad to me because the whole series is really good, and Torchlight 2 was just absolutely amazing. It is by far the best Diablo 2 clone that I can think of. The steampunk world is charming and the colors are just absolutely beautiful. I was playing the game the other day to capture some footage, and I ended up shooting like almost an hour and a half of footage without myself even knowing it because I was so involved in the game and enjoyed it that much. So like I said, Runic Games, the people who made the Torchlight series, kind of slowly went away, and it was kind of sad because I was really excited for the possibility of another entry, and then that kind of just went away. Now, the big deal about Torchlight as well is the only console release it ever got was Torchlight 1 got an Xbox 360 release. Other than that, Torchlight 1 and 2 were only made available for the PC, Mac, and the Linux systems. So Torchlight 2 never saw a console release ever, and I really think it would have done well. I really wonder why it wasn't at least on a Windows platform. I'm sorry, on the Xbox, because it's a Windows platform. I have no idea. It should have been a downloadable game at least, which still blows my mind why that didn't happen. Maybe Runic Games dissolved quicker than I thought. So now Ircha Games is by the same creators, or by the same, more or less the same people from Runic Games, and then a few people that were involved in Diablo 2. And we got this kind of surprise release of Torchlight Frontline, which is only coming out for the PC, the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, so it's not seeing a Switch release. But why is this so exciting that we're getting a new Torchlight game? The possibility of them coming back to and possibly reigniting Torchlight 2 and finally releasing it on systems, I think is a possibility. What better way to promote this new Torchlight game than to go back and finally give the consoles a release of Torchlight 2? And one of the reasons why I'm really excited for it is Torchlight Frontline is not being released for the Switch as of now, as of what they announced, which, I mean, I don't know. I don't know why they wouldn't. It seems like the Switch has been out long enough to where they'd really want to jump on that bandwagon. And especially with the Unreal 4 engine, you'd think it'd be so easy to port it on the Switch. It's very cartoony in its nature, so you think it wouldn't be as graphically intensive, so it could be on the Switch. But I digress. The one reason why I'm excited is I think that Torchlight 2 would find a really good home on the Nintendo Switch, and this actually gives us the possibility of that happening. It would work really well with the internet coming out for the Nintendo Switch here in a month or so, and being able to play with people kind of with the proximity as the Switch has. You could play with 4 people kind of together in handheld mode, or online and stuff. I really think Torchlight 2 could find a really good home on Switch, and this actually makes me excited that actually is a possibility. So I should have been playing a little bit of Torchlight Frontline trailer up in the corner here to show you guys kind of that. But if you haven't, please go check out Torchlight 2. You can get it on Steam, piece of cake. It is so good. If you have any interest in any Diablo clones whatsoever, I think Torchlight 2 is the best one, hands down. It is such a good game. So I'm super excited for this recent Torchlight announcement by Arc. Go check out that trailer and learn a little bit more about the Torchlight series, because it's that good. So anyway, I just wanted to show you guys and tell you guys a little bit of the Torchlight history and my experiences with it and why I'm excited for this new Torchlight Frontline. But there you go. Anyway, like I said, please go check out Ircha Gaming. She is so awesome. Go check her page out and subscribe. And yeah, until next time, be nice, stay positive, always be gaming.